Hey, welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with Ben Mankiewicz, Steve Rosenfield, and we're talking about the First Lady Summit that happened in Africa. Barbara Bush, yeah, that's Laura Bush.
Yeah.
Laura Bush and Michelle Obama got together in Africa, and they had a little summit. They got together. There was a live audience. They're super friendly, and really like each other a lot. And so they got together and they talked, and it was very important that they put this kind of show on for the African people, apparently. Well, Cokie Roberts will tell you why.
And it was very important to those women in Africa because they feel strongly that often when somebody is out of office, that person goes to jail or gets shot.
Right.
And the notion of seeing these two women from different parties who had succeeded, one succeeded the other, be there together, be civil, and be friendly beyond civil, was a very important message to send.
Do you think?
Yes, it's a very important message to send that in our country, right, when our leaders are out of office, they don't go to jail or get killed, no matter how badly they fucked up or whatever kind of crimes they committed or war crimes or illegal wars they started. It all gets, that's why our country's better, because our leaders come together and manage to find common ground and then bury each other's crimes under it.
That's right.
The system works, Jimmy.
The system works, and that's important for those African people to see because, you know, usually when their leader's out of power, if their head doesn't get chopped off, it's because they're out of axes.
The Axis powers.
Yeah, so you got to teach them how you're supposed to get together and cover up each other's crimes. And then the first ladies get together. Your husband's a war criminal. My husband tortured Bradley Manning. Hey, we're great together. We love you.
I think it sends a powerful message, Jimmy, that over the last 20 years, the parties have become so indistinguishable.
Yes.
That they can sit right next to each other and mutually figure out ways to fuck you.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what's happening.
At least it's not gridlock.
Americans hate gridlock.
We hate that.
At least
We're moving forward.
At least it's not gridlock. So what happened at this thing that is kind of newsworthy for the wrong reason is that Cokie Roberts, I guess famously Martha Washington, referred to the White House as being a prison. And so Cokie Roberts was doing the interviewing over in Africa of the two first ladies, and she brought that up. She asked them, what's it like living in the White House?
And she actually, I think, didn't she referenced the Martha Washington quote, like in the question?
Yes, in the question well, I think I have it on the clip. Let me see if I have it.
I've just found it just a very freeing and liberating opportunity.
No state prisoner?
No, there are prison elements to it, but it's a really nice prison.
But with a chef.
You know, you can't complain.
So there you have it. There's the full quote. She said, now the reason why I'm playing that for you is because the right-wing blogosphere, redstate.com, people like that nature, they took a little itty-bitty clip of that, her saying, oh, it's like being in a prison, and they're like, oh, Michelle, if it's like being in a prison, maybe. So they used this to get outraged, as if Michelle Obama is complaining about living in the White House when it's obvious that she was doing the exact opposite. She said it was very liberating, and this is my point, that this keeps happening. And the right wing keeps getting treated as if they're not doing this stuff all the time. Well, when they come back to the studio, right? So they play this on Press the Meet with David Gregory. They play that clip, the whole clip. They come back into the studio, and Andrea Mitchell brings up the same point that I just made.
Andrea, the White House is prison.
And I'm so glad you played the whole thing, because it was Cokie Roberts quoting from Martha Washington, I believe. She'd written a book on First Ladies who described it as a prison, and that's what Michelle Obama was responding to in a jocular way, and also giving some serious thought to how it's such a privilege to be First Lady. And of course, the blogosphere, the conservative blogosphere took off on Michelle Obama describing it as a prison, which is not what she did.
Okay, well, it's nice to see Cokie Roberts stand up for a brief second on Meet the Press and say that the whole complete right wing is going crazy and spreading misinformation. And that point completely got missed on that show. David Gregory didn't follow up on it. It'll never be brought up again. And Andrea Mitchell herself will go back to reporting as if both sides are equal on Monday, which I'm sure she did.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we got to give Andrea Mitchell props for she did it there, and she was eager, and she like made a point clearly because David Gregory went to her, seemingly. Look, I'm reading into it now, seemingly begrudgingly. Like, Andrea, you want to make this point? I know. Go ahead.
She doesn't really think it's a prison. You're gonna ruin everything.
Now you're gonna mention the conservative blogosphere, and then they're gonna get mad at me, and I hate it when they're mad at me.
And the people who made those ridiculous points, who tried to smear Michelle Obama like that, just complete, like, you know, an amateur job of smearing too, you know, that you get called out so easily by Andrea Mitchell on NBC about it. And those people will be invited back on Meet the Press. Those people who said that stuff, wrote that stuff, they'll be invited on Meet the Press. And this week with George Snuffle.
They're on Fox
They're on CNN, they'll be on, that guy goes on, the Red State guy from Red State goes on CNN every goddamn day. You're right. So, and you wonder what's wrong with the...
And no one's going to say to it, hey, so you're either dumb or you deliberately misled your reader.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, you know the truth. So you're interested in misleading people, or you're too dumb to run a blog, which is saying something.
So that's the difference, I think, between people always say, oh, there's MSNBC and there's Fox, and they're just two sides of the same coin, which they're not, right? One is actually informing people, and one is misinforming people on purpose, right? So MSNBC might spin it a little because they're liberal, like, oh, let's look at it this way. They're not going to give you an incorrect fact like Fox will. They're not going to try and make you come to the wrong conclusion like Fox will. That's the biggest difference, is that they're misinforming people as opposed to informing people, and no one will make that.
Yeah, I think there's nothing makes Fox happier than MSNBC's existence. Maybe they didn't realize that at first, but the ability now of people just to dismiss both as the same.
Because then they get a pass for all they can be as horrible as they are. You know, I mean, for Christ's sake, nobody got in trouble for the Shirley Sherrod thing at Fox News. Nobody lost their job. She lost her job.
She lost her job. Yeah, and right. So MSNBC doesn't engage in that deliberate sort of misleading of information unless it's about NSA spying. In which case, then they're sort of on board with whatever
the only time MSNBC is going to lie to you is when it's in favor of the government, right? That's right. When it's in favor, they're never going to blow the whistle. Yeah, they're still against Edward Snowden, for Christ's sake. Melissa Harris Perry gave a big thing where you know, that's why we're at the Young Turks and not MSNBC.